Good morning. It is finally time for me to share a little bit about what's going on in my world. So for those of you closest to me, you're already aware of the journey that I have been on for the past, the past 52 years really, or almost 52 years, but in awareness of my disability and the whole journey that goes with that, the shame, the embarrassment, the keeping it quiet, hiding, from childhood all the way to being an adult. Realizing that you are built a little bit differently gives you a lot of grace and understanding for yourself once you start to learn about it. And that has been my journey. And some of you have been on this journey with me. Some of you are just joining the journey. And honestly, I'm just starting to be honest about it. So I just want to let you all know that some exciting things are happening in my world. And I'm going to be starting a professional Facebook profile just because I don't want all of you here on my personal one. I've been just mixing it up lately, but I'm going to start moving all of the disability stuff to the personal profile. Why should you join? Well, I'm looking for other people with late diagnosed ADHD. So if you're 45 plus and newly diagnosed, love to talk to you. I would also love to have people who have ADHD or neurodivergent children, because if you don't know, I work with children, and I worked with children basically my whole life, and right now I get to work with children in a counseling role. And my counseling role has changed. It has really, really changed. I've always dealt with neurodivergence, but I never used to share my own because of my own shame. And then I realized that was just so counterproductive, because I would have to spend so much time trying to connect with the parents and get them to trust me. And I learned really quickly when I shared my own struggles and disabilities, this really brought trust and compassion and understanding. And then all of a sudden they trusted me to work with their children, which I do not take lightly. And then through that, often I have to, in my job, have difficult conversations with parents because, we see concerns in the classroom. The teachers have concerns. We have concerns. They're struggling. And so we get into the room and we start talking about just, what they see at home and what their frustrations are. And one of the questions on the scanning sheet when you're looking at a child is there any neurodivergence in the family? And this is where the unexpected has happened for me. Nobody told me that this was going to happen. But when I asked that question, two things happen. One, it's a very quick, nope, absolutely not. Sometimes even, that's bullshit. It depends on the parent and their beliefs. And other times, especially with women, but this has happened with dads too, it gets a little quiet. And then sometimes there's tears and this just wash from them of shame and self-hate and failure, and they just start to open up. And then all of a sudden it shifts from their child to their own, and I'm working with them on that, and then I help them get set up in that. And because really when you treat your own ADHD, you just can be a better parent. And so then all of a sudden I'm helping parents, and I hope you can see it's just taking on a life of its own. And so when I first realized I had ADHD, my therapist got me involved right away with an ADHD coach, because her and I needed to focus on other things in my life, like trauma. There's ADHD trauma too, which is a whole other thing. Anyway, this video is getting very long, and if any of you actually watched it this long, thank you. I know my ADHD brain would have gone, scroll, stop talking, woman. But I'm going to post this today. I'm going to pin it at the top of my page, because if any of you would like to know when my professional page opens, if you're interested in seeing more about ADHD, if you're close to me or want to be close to me, or if we used to be close and you're kind of going, oh, that might explain some of the things Heather did because I didn't do things right all the time. Any of these, if you have family members with ADHD, if you're wondering why everybody's talking about ADHD right now, any of those things, put your name in the comments or send me a DM. And once I have that page set up and ready to go, I'll let you know about it and I'll invite you. Actually, so that in my course that I'm taking right now, I'm being sponsored. That's a whole other story. So through my own support group and sharing my story, they approached me and said that they would like me to join their team. And I said, well, I have a very busy job and a very busy life, but I'll do it on a volunteer level for now. So they're sponsoring all of my work. And so part of that agreement, though, is that I start to talk on social media. So I've been avoiding it. I've been dipping into it. But now it's just time to tell everybody. And I've also just kind of had been talking with my parents too. And I just wanted to make sure that I had their support, which I do. So yeah, it's going to start happening, everyone. So again, I'm not going to bombard my page with a lot of this stuff, but please know that that is what's happening in my world. ADHD and autism, it looks like I have been blessed with two things. And honestly, I don't get too wrapped up in the diagnoses, because when it comes down to the spectrum, once you've figured out that you're on the spectrum, well, it's like smoothie after that. And that's why it's so challenging to address, because there's not one size fits all, and you literally have to spend time with these children to figure out their strengths and weaknesses. I feel blessed to be called to this. I'm hoping these people haven't made a mistake in choosing me for this role. So please, if you know of anyone, men or women, I do kind of a specialty a little bit with the women that are older, because that's my journey. But I'm working with fathers who are getting diagnosed. I'm working with women that are getting diagnosed. I'm working with children that are being diagnosed. Yeah. And so this is where I am in life right now. And I would love to see some of you, my friends and family, to join me and support me on this journey. And also, if you have a story to share, please, I would love to hear it. I just find there's so much healing and so much joy when we come together with this disability and start to understand that it is a disability. I would never choose to live with this type of brain and overwhelm that I live in. But it is the journey that I'm on, and I'm starting to embrace it. So there, I did it. No script. No, I'm not going to edit this. It's free. It's 7 minutes. So sorry. But I've been kind of nervous to do this because social media scares me. I'm kind of self-conscious, but I've realized if I just don't look at the camera, like right now, I'm not looking at myself. So it's easier for me if I don't see myself, because then I start to worry about how I'm being perceived. And I have to realize that it just doesn't matter how I'm being perceived. It is what it is. I am who I am. So yeah. That's the next journey for me. I hope for those of you that stuck with this 8-minute video, you're probably already going, yeah, she can't shut up. Never could, never would. But now we might know why. She's a hyper Heather. Have a great Thursday, everybody. I'm just feeling like there's really great things ahead. And thank you to everyone who loves and supports me.